Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Papa Champs. We're continuing on with the playoffs. You'll find out very soon that I'm on my own today and I've got to do Singapore all by myself. So we're going to try our best. We're going to nail this and we're going to have a bit of fun and hope that Xbox doesn't shit itself. So I hope everybody is having a really awesome week. I know that it's Monday, not my favourite day in the calendar. I had a little bit of work to do this afternoon, so I wasn't really about much most of the day. It was a bit sad, but we are going to get going with all of the racing action this evening. We're on to the second round of playoff action. Well, the next stage of the playoffs is not too far away, but this evening we are at Singapore. Quite a tricky track for drivers to get right. We're going to enjoy every bit of action that we're going to see here this evening. Just going to try and make sure that my comm screen is as large as I can get it so that I can see everybody's beautiful faces. There we go. Not too long now, we've just got to wait for everybody to hurry up, put their setups on. Bit of a late start. We're running 9 minutes behind already this evening and it's going to be a long race. But we're going to make this count. One shot qualifying here in Papa Champs. And then we're on all the way on to the next round of the racing. There's 12 drivers on track this evening. And we're going to try and stick with who I believe is capable of taking pole position. Mr. Angelissimo is my pick this evening. If I can actually get to him. Nope, everybody is dancing around the place like mad. I can't get to Angelo. There we go. We're going to stick on with Angelo for his lap here. He's not currently at the pole position point, but we'll see where he goes as we go through this section of track. It is not my favourite, this part of the track, I'm not going to lie. Can really lose traction quite a lot here. Sliding a little bit out of that corner. Brings it up round here. This is probably one of the more technical parts where you can lose a lot of time. Angelo's going to lose a little bit of time there. He's scraping the underbody all the way through this area. Kind of gets that turn okay, but it's not ideal. Hard on the brakes as he brings it round to the next corner. Now there's no bridge section anymore, which is, well, to be honest, so much better. He goes straight down here on the brakes and round the corner. Cal Schumi, apparently. And new boy, little JFam has retired. Arbon, a 1:29.5 on the pole time. Angelo struggling today to find form, down to 6th for him, but I'm sure he'll try and make up some time today with his strategies. But here is your starting positions for today's race. Arbon on pole, Vapidkut in 2nd place, Grumpier Line in 3rd, Kozlesko in 4th, Scott in 5th, in 6th we've got Angelo, in 7th we've got Pandapat Cheetah, in 8th we've got Kashmiri G, in P9 we've got Parzival, in 10th we've got Little JFam, in 11th we've got Tom Sofregno, and in 12th we've got Cal 17F1, who managed to invalidate his lap right near the end. That's going to suck for him. Moving on in a couple of seconds. Championship has not been updated, I think, with the points from last time, which kind of sucks. I'll see if I do have the updated results and standings from the last race. I think this is actually it here. The overall standings, yeah, from the 25th, that seems about right. Vapidkut is currently leading the standings at the moment, coming through the back of last race. He's got 6,042 playoff points. His overall points right now is 113, makes no difference. Scott is currently 2nd in the championship, 6,036 for him. Angelissimo 32 points, so I'll just take it like that. Pandapat 22, Winai on 22, Jamie on 20, Kozlesko on 20, Dan Davis on 13, Cal on 12, and TM Kirby on 7. These are all your playoff drivers that we were announcing there. A couple of them not turning up tonight, so it is anybody's race to win. New boy Arbin on the block. He's been in for a few races now. He's going to be hoping to try and carry on in that form that he's had in qualifying. See if he can get an early lead and then bring the cutter to a stop on the finish line at the end of the race in first place. Oh, tell you something, it sucks doing commentary by yourself, but, well, everything seems to be going wrong this week. His mic's away. The stream's killed itself already, which is fantastic. It really is. And at the same time, I'm gonna close all of the applications that do not need to be open, because I feel as though some things are interfering with what's going on screen. But we will just hope and pray as we go on to the next chapter of this. Mr. Scott's in the chat. I am doing as well as I can be. Yeah, as I was just saying, everything seems to be going wrong this week. Mike's on holiday, and everybody else either has problems or cannot make it tonight. It's done it again. This is gonna piss me off tonight because it just keeps doing this, doesn't it? I just have to keep spamming things on the screen. But yeah, Sam's microphone stopped working. He just informed me of that this morning. Well, this afternoon, sorry. And Casper, who's one of our other commentators, well, he's normally busy on a Monday night, so generally he's not about to do anything with us, which kind of sucks, to be honest. But yeah, it's just me Verstappening tonight on me own and having a wee bit of fun with everything. Now, let's not make any mistakes here. We're doing our best in the commentary box. Mike will be back with us next week for the next round of the championship, but until then, you'll just have to, suffer through my insufferable voice for the remainder of this race. I'm just going to check at what time we will be going. Race begins in 2 minutes' time. And we'll see what the crack is with everybody in the chat. It's done it again. Come on. Bring it back. Bring it back now. Come on. Come on, Streamlabs. Come on. Come on, Streamlabs. Why are you doing this, Streamlabs? Stop being a dickhead, Streamlabs. Try and see if that works. No, it's not worked. Of course it hasn't. So if I do that again, will it kill it? Yep. Yep, it will just kill it. This is just amazing. It's just fucking beautiful. I'm literally I'm on the screen right now. Come on. This is what I have to deal with the Xbox app just deciding to well, I actually think it's Streamlabs. What we might do actually is I'm gonna do a screen capture like this. Bang. Hello, you get to see yourself, chat. How do you feel? How do you feel, chat? You get to see your beautiful faces. And we're just gonna do that. And then you're about to see your beautiful face right now, chat. Like literally right now. There you are. There you are. You love that, don't you? You love seeing yourselves. But this should be a little bit easier. We'll see how that looks on the stream. It looks so much better. And if this decides to kill itself, then I don't know what else I'm doing right or wrong. But this will be good enough for everybody. I I hope everything's going to be good in the race today, because, well, Singapore likes to be a very long race with very limited challenge going around the track. So, well, when I say limited challenge, I mean it isn't drivers challenging for positions. It's normally people killing themselves, the one that's going to make the difference.
Here we go then, the formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building.
We love hearing this dickhead, don't we?
Will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? Well, we'll soon find out.
I'm sure you will find out very, very soon as to why. Get rid of that so you don't have to see that. There we are.
We're almost ready to start the race as the cars take their positions on the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
Well, chat, they're going to line up on the grid now for the start of the race. Arbon will be taking us on the start. And we line up for, well, essentially a massive race for the drivers in the top 6. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And off we go, ladies and gentlemen, for the start of round 12 here. As it looks like the Audi at the back there managing to get a good start. That's Tom Zofregno in the back. Arbon getting off well. Vapid Coot trying to slot in behind and get away from Grumpier Lion, who is in 3rd place. Scott made it all the way up to 4th. Panda Pat Kozlesko making a little bit of moves on Angelo as he gets really loose out of turn 1. There's a bit of contact at the back for Kashmiri G as he has hit the wall. I think he'll get away with that, but he's got nothing on his front wing. It is gone. And he's trying to battle with an Audi. That is Little Fat G. No, it's not. As it looks like he has decided to, well, miss the line. As Arbon has got away well at the start here. He's already 1.3 seconds up on Vapid Coot. Grumpier Lion struggling to get away from Scott, as also Scott is under pressure from Panda Pat behind. You'll watch here as he goes on the straight. Panda very quick out of that corner. We'll see what he can get out of this. That's going to be a track limits, I think, for him. Oh, Scott hits the wall. There's nothing really going on around the track at the moment, apart from this battle. Kashmiri G having to really pretty much crawl around the circuit. Arbon, a 1:35.4 for the first lap of the race, pretty solid. Parsifal, that's a crash. That's a big, big crash. Big moment. He has already brung out a safety car, and, well, virtual safety car, and that's going to allow Kashmiri G to lose a little bit less time than he already had. Parsifal just losing the back end around turn 1, and he's already out of the race. And here we go, Arbon losing a bit of time. Oh, and we've gone to a full safety car. That's... nobody's died, so that's obviously still related to the first incident. So, well, it seems a bit silly for the safety car to come out now, considering they just took their time, removed it without just changing it and upgrading it, and then upgraded it after the fact. Seems a very F1 thing to do. Grumpier Lion and Scott apparently all like the equivalent of a lap ahead of everyone else, which is incorrect. Doing that didn't fix it. Well, we're under safety car already, folks. How do you feel now? I bet you feel like a bunch of schmucks. You thought the start was going to be entertaining. Joking. There was a couple of moves made at the start of the race for position, and now it's just sort of settled in. Angelo's dropped down 1 because Let's Go Panda Pat sort of making a few different moves there as well to get where they are, but nothing too exciting. Panda's going into the pit to remove his soft tyres. I don't know. Seems a bit silly, but he knows he's probably not going to get this opportunity for a little while. So he's going to put the hards on. That's his one mandatory pit stop out of the way. Cal's coming in behind him. He's removing the mediums and going on to the hards. Very interesting to see that. In all honesty, seems a bit silly to be pitting this early, but you know, anything for a strategy change if your first one didn't work out for the first lap of the race. Now, Arbon. He's been really quick today. I mean, overwhelmingly quick today. Are we going to see him win a race, or are we going to see him end the race in a strategically deaf fashion, as such, in his fake Aston Martin livery? Grumpy Lion managing to put his way up into third. The last time we saw him race, we didn't see him last week, but the week before that, or we're doing the week before that one as well, at Spa, I called him a bit of an idiot, so hopefully he doesn't make a mess of it today. Obviously, he was allowed to race again, but his desperation at Spa nearly cost him a seat anywhere in this championship. Nearly getting ejected quicker than it started. Some very questionable moves. Punting a few drivers off. Causing incidents that just didn't need to happen, and pissing off commentators as well with poor driving standards. It's not the way to go. I wasn't the only one who thought he was a bit of an idiot, but you know, I digress. Kashmiri G, fresh front wing. He's not dead, which is always a bonus. But he's now got to try and fight to get as many positions back as possible. Is that going to be a challenge that he will be willing to take on? Or are we going to see him end his challenge early this afternoon? Sorry, this evening. I don't know why I thought it was the afternoon. It is literally 4 minutes to 9 at night o'clock. At night o'clock. Tell that my words don't work today. I might be not doing words. But Arbon sitting nice and comfortably in first until the safety car comes in this lap. Is he going to manage to get the jump on Vapid Coot and Grumpy Lion? Or is this going to be a case of questions? Questions to be asked. Now, Grumpy Lion, as we talked about a minute ago, has an opportunity here to make up a few positions if he gets this restart right. The tyre situation is simple. Arbon and Vapid are on the mediums. Grumpy Lion is on the hards and Scott is on the mediums behind him. Because Lesko is on the hards, Angelo is on the hards, Tom's so... I don't understand your name, brother. He is on hards, Little J-Fam is on mediums, Panda Pat is on hards, Cal is on hards, Kazmiri G is on the medium tyres. Let's get ready to race. Now, the easiest way for him to catch everyone out is to do it right out of the exit of the last corner. He'll really bring everybody back. But he's just going to go now and hope that they don't manage to carry enough speed through here, because he's definitely lost a bit of time to Vapid Coot by doing that. And Grumpy Lion is a bit wiser to the situation than Mr. Scott was. Lion struggling to use all his line out of that corner. Vapid putting pressure on Arbon now. No DRS just yet, so the boys have to use a lot of battery if they want to get an overtake done round here. Vapid struggling to get the line into that corner. Very tight exit. Didn't lose too much time. If anything, he's sort of balancing the books right now. There's a bit of contact. I heard it, a bit of a scrape on the wall somewhere. I don't think it was Arbon in front. Arbon is making a few mistakes though, struggling to get that car to do things. So we come round the hairpin. See, they're all sort of lined up at the back. Grumpier Lion now. He's trying his hardest. Vapid Coupe not managing to make a dent in that time just yet, but he wants to be closer for when that DRS zone kicks in. Now watching down the pack as well. Nothing really going on because Lesko's probably the closest battle. Vapid Coupe manages to post fastest lap. Angelo going wide out of that last corner. Little J-Fam is dead. Little Fat, as I just called him. Vapid Coupe really catching through Sector 1 on Arbon now, but we're not going to really see any differences. Grumpier Lion not managing to make a dent at all in Vapid Coupe. Vap is going to want to try and pick his pass now. He really needs to get past him, because that will put him ahead on the strategy game as well. Making a mess of that corner, understeering like hell. As we come through this section. Oh, thank you AA for giving us the helicopter cam. It's much suited through this section. A very much appreciated camera angle by loads. And here we go. Vapid managing to get a really good exit out of that corner. We're going to potentially see a move into the next corner. Are we going to see it? No, he's just playing it conservative. Needs to get this move done though, otherwise Grumpier Lion and Scott could potentially catch him. Scott's actually backing up the pack a little bit behind. Angelo and Kozlesko are all in that position where they can make moves on Scott if he's not careful. Here we go, Vapid trying his hardest to not use a lot of curb. DRS is now enabled. This is going to be so helpful for Vapid. He's managed to put a little bit more of a gap on Grumpier Lion now, which is what he wanted to do. I think he might just get DRS this time round on him, but it's not really going to mean much at this moment in time, because Vapid Coupe now potentially got a higher downforce package on his car, and Arbon just trying to aggressively use a bit of his ERS to stay out of his range. But if Vapid can save ERS and just use DRS to stay close with him, this will be a sure thing. The move will happen. Angelo now got past Scott. Scott very quick through that last sector. Angelo seems to be a little bit wiser to the fact, and he's trying to get away from him and hustle his car through this section. Scott losing a bit of time through the hairpin. That's not ideal. That's giving Kozlesko a look in, and he doesn't want to be doing that. Going back to our battle for the lead right now. Vapid is trying. He needs to get a bit closer though if he really wants to count this move as done when he gets it. It's so strange seeing Vapid through some of these corners. He's second guessing himself. He's trying to turn a lot earlier than he should be. He's lost 2 tenths through one corner alone. Little errors costing him time, and that's going to be a track limits warning. As he completely cuts the track. If he doesn't, then everybody should be abusing that line. Now we're going to see Vapid trying to get the foot down early now. Really not trying to use any ERS here at all. He does need to get this move done and dusted on Arbon, because he's not using too much ERS either. Which I think the strategy would be correct, to try and get Arbon to use all of his ERS early, but I think Arbon is a bit wiser than that. Let's go now. Still got that look in on Scott. Scott getting a bit slidey out of there. He's definitely losing some time there. And here we go. We just missed it, but he sent it down the inside. I didn't manage to get the cut back, but that's the change for the lead now. Vapid Koot on lap 8, taking the lead of the race. Just looking through the pack now, because Lesko could have a move on Scott very soon if he's lucky enough. Grumpier Lion now getting a look in on Arbon as he made a mistake out that last corner. Now Grumpier Lion is going to make the move round the outside. He's not going to manage to get his front wing in there just yet, but he's going to want to get close, nice and close out of this corner, and just keep it that way if he wants to think about getting a move on Arbon at all. That DRS, very strong for that sector. It's not enough to try and get anything back on Vapid. Now Vapid's just got to control the race now. Be careful when he's using his ERS. Be ready to concede position when he needs to, and be ready to get it back again. Now this is where you're going to see this race won or lost today. We're going through the end of Sector 2 now, and Vapid is leading by 7 tenths over Arbon. Actually 8 tenths. He got a really bad X out of there. Now Arbon is under pressure from Grumpier Lion behind. It's not really helpful when you've got Lion chasing you down from behind and Vapid Koot flying away ahead. He's trying to break that DRS. He just needs to hope and pray that Arbon will make a few mistakes now. He doesn't want him that close to his gearbox. Watching as we could see this lead change within the next DRS straight. Vapid's trying his hardest to keep the lead, but I'm not gonna lie, if Arbon can get this move done here, he kinda needs to not be using any ERS and just use that DRS to fuel himself up and keep the gap alive. Because Vapid's barely using any. He is the strategic advantage right now. Grumpier Lion, however, has had to use quite a lot of it to stay this close to the back of them. He doesn't need to use any right now. He just needs to sit there and wait for any moves that are potentially going to come his way. Panda Pat and Scott now having a little bit of a battle at the back. You can see Kozlesko managing to get by Scott on that last lap there. Panda Pat not so lucky right now. He's going to try, he was trying for the inside there. You can see it. He's going to try it round the outside though. Scott's going to hustle him round. Good defensive move from Scott, but he's going to run off the track, and that will be a track limits 100%. And there we go, Panda Pat gets through. A fantastic attacking and defensive move made at the same corner. Very good driving between those two. Grumpier Lion now on the back of Arbon. He's really trying, but these guys are pulling away from Angelo and Kozlesko behind. They're just not in that DRS train. You can only be as quick as the fastest part of the train. We've got, Mike said, just a quick one, just waiting for the 32-ounce T-bone. Miss you. Love you, Mike. Sorry. Sorry for just missing you. But Grumpier Lion's going to make the move round the outside. Is he going to hold it, though? That inside line's not ideal for making moves. No, he's not. Arbon's going to stick it right down the inside, and we're going to see a switchback. No, we're not. It was really close. He had a look in, but we could see a move going here. just Lion tried to cut his line just a bit smaller, but it didn't happen. Little JFam, a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. You naughty, naughty boy. That's not what you want to be doing. Oh, and here we go. Grumpier Lion gets a much smoother entry, but it's just not enough. Angelo is actually starting to catch the train of cars behind as Panda Pat manages to get past Kozlesko as well. Nicely done from the Dutchman on the Hungarian. Grumpier Lion is really putting a lot of pressure on this lead, but it's just, it's not going to really happen right now. He's going to not be looking at that gap behind him either, as much as he would like to, because Angelo has appeared in the picture. Now, we'll see if Lion can manage to make a dent in the times now. He's going to come round into DRS. He is very, very close to the back of Arbon. It's just not going to be enough. The moment that Vapid drops Arbon, then Lion will have him. But when he makes little mistakes like that in the braking zone, you can start to understand how Vapid is pulling away from both of them. Now, the question is, can Vapid get a good exit out of the hairpin and increase that gap to over a second? He's going to be looking for it. He actually loses a tiny bit out of the exit. He's nearly there. Still not enough to just drop him out of that DRS zone. Lion being very aggressive on the power out of every corner to try and see if he can get a look in here. Angelo 2.2 behind. Just, he's not really made too much of a dent in these guys. If anything, he's lost a bit of time in the last lap. Kozlesko still on the back of Panda Pat, but it does seem that Panda is doing very well to drop him, which is quite an interesting party. Vapid cutting out. He's going to take this corner. He's lost time again. This DRS is not helping him solve his issues. If anything, it's making it worse, even though the two are sort of working along each other. And little J Fam getting another 5-second penalty for crossing the pit exit line. It's just a bit silly now when you see that. Vapid actually dropping a bit of time now on Arbon. Maybe making a few too many mistakes that Arbon isn't making. Grumpier Lion doing very well through Sector 2. He's really made up and he's going to make the dive. He's managed to get it done as well. Absolutely fantastic through the hairpin. And now Grumpier Lion is through. But he's out with that DRS threshold. He's trying his hardest to get back up into that threshold, but it's just not going to be enough, I don't think. But if Vapid is 1.1 seconds ahead, he's not going to get it, and that's going to leave him under pressure from Arbon behind. He's made that move a little bit too late if he wanted to be on for that, and it now looks like Vapid could fly ahead for a little bit until a safety car comes out. Scott 3 attempts behind Kozlesko now. Arbon making a pit stop now as well. Putting on the hard tyres. He'll be cleared to go to the end of the race in those tyres. But that's giving Vapid just a tiny bit of breathing room. Grumpier Lion behind, not doing too badly. Scott now 6 attempts behind Tom Zofregno. Sorry, Kozlowski. Why am I reading it upside down? Scott's not doing half bad right now. He's sort of not moved anywhere, which is unfortunately the way it goes with this track. You either gain positions or you're stuck. For Scott, unfortunately, it seems to be that. And there we go, Vapenkoot has initiated his pit stop. He knew he sort of needed to do one now. Grumpier Lion will inherit the lead of the race with his hard tyres. Scott now 4 tenths behind Kozlowski, putting a lot of pressure on him now. Scott will be thinking about pitting within the next few laps as well. Oh, and that's big. Arbon is retired from the session. Seems a bit silly. He was on a position to get a podium there. And he's retired from the session and left the race. Essentially leaving our leader, Grumpier Lion, in a position with 3 seconds gap over Angelissimo. Maybe feeling a little bit butthurt that he got overtaken by the one and only Vapenkoot. Right now, has made his pit stop, and all he needs to do now is try and get back up towards the top of the pack. Panda Pat technically is our inherited leader the moment that Angelo and Grumpier Lion need to pit. He's the only one in that top flight that has taken a pit stop. Vapenkoot now putting pressure on Cal 17 F1. Cal's not going to make it easy for him. He's going to make a defensive play to the left hand side, but Vapen is too smart to know that that was just a little bit of a fake. And yeah, it's worked for him. Vapenkoot up into P7. Kozlowski losing a position to Scott now in the DRS zone. Now it's his job to try and stick with Scott as much as he possibly can here. Kozlowski doing his best impression of Kimi Raikkonen and just trying to stick with his teammate through the trials and tribulations in Singapore. That's what it is. Now, Grumpier Lion lost a bit of time now to Angelissimo. Nearly 4 tenths in the last 2 laps. Becoming a bit of a slog potentially on those hard tyres as he goes really rampant round that corner. Car said nearly deaf to him, and Angelissimo gaining a little bit more time. Panda Pat 2.1 seconds behind Angelo at this moment in time. Scott and Kozlowski battling, and Scott's going to be in the pits. He's going to get his pit stop and go on the hard tyres. Bit of a back marker problem now. Guy in 10th, really making a mess of that corner. Cal getting past Tom's Fregno. And he's all the way up there. He's also made a pit stop. And he's going to take that position over Scott as well. But those that made the early call for a pit stop, those tyres will be screaming by the end of the race. They made that pit stop essentially 2 laps into the race. And now if we look at this, you can see for Cal especially, 14 laps is not ideal. Panda Pat probably is in a position right now where he doesn't want to be on these tyres too much longer. If he can try and help it, he's going to hope for a safety car, because he knows if the safety car doesn't come out, he's well and truly going to be struggling near the end of the race. He's essentially going to be going 29 laps on some hard tyres, and that's around here is a bit hard to do, not gonna lie. Grumpy Lion has now decided to initiate his pit stop. He's going to get this pit stop out of the way. He's got his pit stop and he should be away. Yep, game glitchy. Well done, lads, good pit stop. As Grumpy Lion comes out in P4, but that's well and truly behind Vapid Koot now. Not ideal for him. Vapid had a very, very clean run, and his pit stop massively has helped him, especially with occasions with the DRS as well from the drivers like as Cal17F1, putting him back on the podium for this race. Angelo now, I wonder if he's going to try and get onto the soft tyres. I don't know if the tyres will hold up. Angelo's a relatively quiet driver, he's not too aggressive on the car, so if he can get those tyres to a soft window, which is about 7 to 8 laps towards the end, then, you know, he'll be laughing, because that's the exact time that Panda will want to come in, and Vapid Koot will have no choice but to come in for softs as well. Vapid's still essentially 12 seconds off the lead now. So Fregno, probably our closest battle on track, apart from Kashmiri on Cal17F1. Bit of an awful start from Kashmiri in this race. He's not managed to do a lot since that. So if he can get this move on Cal, I'm sure he'll be very happy make that move. Panda Pat now in the pits. He's realised he just needs to get going. He's put on some medium tyres to the end. I think he was starting to feel the effects of those hards killing themselves. Panda Pat only comes out in 4th position though, and he's already ahead of Scott. So that pit stop has played into his hands 110%. Scott doesn't even get the DRS. That's a strategic masterclass from Panda Pat. Stayed out a few more laps longer than Scott on essentially older tyres. Well, sorry, younger tyres than Scott, and made the overcut work. He's done very, very well. Now Grumpy Lion, 7 attempts off the back of Vapid Koot now, who's now in 2nd. Grumpy Lion is on the mediums. Vapid's on the hards. Angelo is on the hard tyres. He's just going to keep pushing. I reckon he is really trying to get into that window for the soft tyres, and technically he could do it in about 2 laps time, so he really cannot lose much more than what he's already got now, because he is losing time to Vapid and to Grumpy Lion considerably now. That's 2 attempts in 1 corner. Now watching on is Angelo, just trying to get the car a little bit more livened up through some of the corners. He's just losing time. He's bleeding it from the gearbox of his car. I'm going to be honest, those tyres are screaming at him, and that's little JFam has retired from the session. He has crashed the exact same point as Parseval, and that means that Angelo will be in the pits for softs, and all the other drivers will probably have to do the same. Even those that have just made a pit stop, if you want to be competitive on these final few laps of this race, I think softs where at, and Angelo, I'm afraid to say, has pulled off a strategic masterclass from himself as well. He just tried to stay out on those hard tyres as long as possible, And even got to a point there where he was getting caught considerably. And if that safety car didn't come out, I'm not going to lie, Angelo would have been in a really, really bad spot. He was losing time everywhere. Little J-Fam, unfortunate for him tonight. He nearly made it all the 31 laps, but, you know, he's unfortunately 11 laps short. Angelo now coming in for his pit stop. See what Vapid does. Vapid's coming in again. Grumpier Lion will be coming in for a stop. Panda Pat, having just made a stop, might try and stay out. But I think because everyone ahead of him has pitted, it's quite right to just go for it. Oh, he's going to go for the track position. He's not even going to get first position on track. He's going to have to settle for second on track. And he's going to be splitting Vapid Coot and Grumpier Lion. Essentially could be gifting this win to Angelissimo if he doesn't make a mistake on the restart. Grumpier Lion is only just coming out of the pits now. Scott's in the pits, Kozlesko and Tom Sofregno also in the pits. Cal, he's staying out. Both him and Panda Pat stopped early on in the race and they've decided to stay out. Kashmiri also staying out. So, quite the mix. Angelo actually going on to mediums. Everyone's sticking on the mediums. Grumpier Lion's on the softs. He's going to be quite aggressive on this restart. And Scott on the medium tyres. Kozlesko on the softs. Cal on the mediums. Tom Sofregno is on the softs. And Kashmiri's on the mediums. So, quite the various spread of tyre choices. I think, considering that after this safety car comes in, we're going to have 9 laps of running, I think softs would have been a better option, even though they do die quite quickly around here in the very abrasive road surface. And, well, really sort of hard, aggressive acceleration zones around this track. However, it would be safe to say that anyone can still win this race. We've got a new follower, and that is Arbon in the chat. Thank you very much for the follow, buddy. You can tell us why you decided to leave the race. I mean, you were still in a good position to make a good run there. Imagine the safety car will be in this lap. Gonna take a wee swig of me juice, like. Tropical punch. Now, this is the discussion that we need to have right now. Top 3 cars, all on medium tyres. Grumpier Lions on the softs. He's going to have to really be quite aggressive on this restart to make positions. 110% effort needs to be put into those tyres to get past. And then once he is past, are those tyres going to hold up? I think they will. And if he does manage to make the passes, he's set for a podium here. He's definitely set for a podium. If he can just control his car, keep those tyres fresh, and just push to the end of the race. Cal and Tom Sofregno spinning. Hello. Not an ideal situation to spin under the safety car, sir. Now, Panda is going to be quite aggressive on this restart. He's gonna want to hold Vapid behind for as long as possible while chasing Angelo down. Now, does Angelo make the jump on the restart early? Because if he does, he risks Panda being wise to this, and Vapid Koot as well. Now, if he's smart about this, he's gonna want to go late. That's from my view anyway. Really back this pack up and make them make a mistake. He's gonna go out of that corner. I think he's managed to catch Panda out a tiny bit, but Vapid Koot is too wise to realise that that is gonna happen. Now he's on the back. Oh, Panda all the way down at the start-finish straight. Coming round behind the pit wall, under the road network that runs parallel and over the track. Thomson Fregnell gets a penalty for multiple warnings. That's a track limit right there, sir. Grumpier Lion, however, going to make the move around the outside of Vapid Koot. Those soft tyres are just amazing round here if you can get an opportunity to use them. Now he's all the way chasing down Panda Pat. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2, as it seems to be a little bit of a car park at the back here. As everybody's going off, Kashmiri's became a torpedo, and Thomson Fregnell is doing his best twerking impression. But Grumpier Lion is the man of the hour. He is putting a lot of pressure on Panda Pat. He's not going to get the move done this time round, but he's going to really put a lot of pressure on to see if he's going to make a mistake. He's going to dive to the inside. He's going to put his car where it doesn't belong, but he's going to cause contact. That's a bit controversial because guess what? Vapid Koot has come along. They're free wide. Vapid Koot making the move up into P2 as Panda Pat gets impeded essentially by Grumpier Lion making the move. Grumpier Lion, the biggest loser in all of that. And I can imagine that's going to be a very nice penalty, as it looks like he's just going to make the move on the inside. Panda Pat having to go off the track to stay alive, as Kozlesko's going to go around the outside, and Scott as well. Everybody trying to get involved on the lead battle right now. Panda Pat really dropping down the order now. He's just getting shuffled out by every single person on the track, as Angelo is now 3.1 seconds ahead. 24 laps gone. We literally only have about 6 laps of racing to go, and Scott is putting a lot of pressure now on Grumpier Lion to see if he's going to make a mistake, but it does seem a bit far-fetched to ask. That the man who's been struggling all day to find pace is now literally taking his opportunity out of nowhere to get on to the podium. I don't think he'd be alone on that though, because Lesko on the soft tyres as well is really putting a lot of pressure on him to make a mistake. Panda Pat, however, I can imagine he's furious after that very opportunistic dive bomb from Grumpier Lion. You know, he left him as much space as possible and still it ended up being in contact. It's very unlucky. Now Kozlesko. Struggling to find pace through that sector. DRS is now enabled, and he's the only one on track that's going to be able to use it. Because Scott is too far back from Grumpier Lion at the moment, and Grumpier Lion is nowhere near Vapid Koot to use it, even though Vapid is dropping time, dropping the margin, sorry, to Angelissimo, who is in first place. There's nothing there. Grumpier Lion gets a 3-second time penalty. That is going to significantly ruin his race. And here we go. Kozlesko, I mean, he's just trying to, at this point, get Scott to make a mistake. I think he knows how much danger it would leave him in if he was to get past right now. He's just trying to see if he'll get him to make a few more mistakes so he doesn't get the opportunity to use DRS to get away from him. And he's going to try and just keep him in his gun sights right to the end of the race. Now, Kozlesko. Just trying to keep that gap nice and minimal. not really much going on right now because Lesko is the only battle. Angelo is losing a tiny bit of time to Vapid-Koot. He's just hoping not to make a mistake, as it looks like Tom Sofregno has dropped the car. Has he got contact damage to the car? He has not. He's just alive and no more. Angelo actually making some time up on Vapid-Koot there through those last two sectors, because Lesko is still the only battle on track right now, because he is also the only one to have that DRS. Is he going to try and make this move stick this time? He's using ERS as well. He really just wants to get past him. Scott's going to go to the outside. They're going to push all the way around the corner. And Scott's going to defend, but the switchback could still be on. And Kozlesko just not able to capitalise this time round. He's using a lot of ERS. I mean, Scott's still got more than him, and Kozlesko has just got none. Seems very silly to be using the ERS on the straights if you have DRS. He set himself up for failure here if he cannot just save some ERS. Well, either way, the man in the yellow car that looks like a Jordan is still the only battle on track, as Vapid-Koot is unable to really make a sizable dent in Angelo at the moment. Kozlesko very close to the back of Scott now. We could see this move done into the first corner. It's going to be very close though. No, it's not. Not close enough. He was just hoping to get his front wing in there, and then he's entitled to some space. But right now, it's gonna happen this straight, I can imagine. As long as he's fair about it, and he's not gonna make that move yet. I can imagine he's getting quite frustrated though, because any sort of podium right now for him is well and truly screwed. I mean, it would have been in Scott's best interest to just let him by, because now, Grumpier Lion is essentially going to hold on to this podium. Scott's too far back. Angelissimo, only got 4 laps of racing to go. The current leader. Kozlesko, however, dropping back now as there's a safety car. What's happened here? Why have we got a safety car? Nobody's dead. Everybody's going to be pitting now. This is completely screwed over Angelo, because he's now going to be stuck behind the safety car for this whole entire lap, and that safety car has come out at the wrong time. This game has completely screwed Angelo over. I'm actually distraught for him, because he's just trying to hustle this safety car along. The safety car should just let him go round. It really should have. But no, he's got to sit here right behind the safety car until he can get his pit stop, and that's going to give Vapid-Koot the lead. Because no matter what, Vapid is closing in on that gap. Angelo, you can just see the level of frustration he's feeling right now in this car. I'm actually distraught for him, to be honest. He had that lead, and then there was a pointless safety car, and it's completely screwed the whole entire race over for him. Because Vapid-Koot is just going to be right there. He's going to join into the queue. Angelo's going to have to pit if he wants to be anywhere near the end of the race. And yeah, it's essentially, it's well and truly screwed him over, because everybody else is taking pits and Grumpier Lions put on intermediates, which is, if he stays out on those, it's an offence. Be on wet tyres on a dry track, so he's going to have to come in again. He's well and truly screwed his race over. And Angelo's just decided to stay on track. He's decided not to pit. He's going to have to defend for his life. He's going to have 2 laps to defend from Vapid Koot, and I think for a good percentage of that, Vapid's just going to have to just do it on his own steam. And the pace that Angelo was showing earlier, he needs to show it now on older mediums against guys on brand spanking new soft tyres. The question would be, though, if he does do that, does he manage to defend from Scott? Scott's the nearest car that's going to challenge him after Vapid gets by. And if he can hold on to that, you know, that gives Angelo a bit of an edge in the points going into the next round of the playoffs. We've still got one more to go in this stage of the playoffs. After this, we will be, if we just bring it up right here, that's the driver lineup. Race calendar for Suzuka next, and that's going to be quite a fun race to go. And we'll be moving on to the next round of the playoffs. Let's bring the race back up for everybody to see. The safety car has to come in this lap. There's no way. There we go. This is going to leave Angelissimo in a bad way. There's carbon coming off the back of that car, as someone rams into the back of Angelo. I think Vapid Koot. There was some carbon there, and the Grumpier Lion is still on the intermediate tyres for me. Unless that's a game glitch, unfortunately, that could be quite a sizable penalty for the man. There is no rain on the track, as to what I can see. So, yeah, it's the way it is. Angelo gets us going again for the final sort of 2 laps of racing now. Scott goes wide. He's got no front wing. That's not ideal. Now, Angelo just got to try and defend. He closes the door nice and early there on Vapid Koot to try and stop him from getting that move done early. Now Vapid Koot is going to try and see if he can get this move done straight by using ERS all the way down the straight. Angelo tries to close the door. He goes to the outside. He defends well. It's very aggressive defense, though. I think Vapid will be a bit upset there, because I think that's could be classed as blocking. Now we're moving on to the next straight. And Vapid Koot trying to get a nose in. Very aggressive final laps of the race. Panda Pat's managed to find himself in 3rd position, but if he cannot get a gap on Kozlesko, well, it's going to be all over for him. No podium for you today, sir. He's got to really find some time in this next section of the track. As there's contact, Vapid Koot crashing into him, and that's Angelo! He's out! He's out from the race! He's been crashed out by Vapid Koot. Oh, that's going to be controversial in the steward's room. Now Panda Pat has inherited the lead. This is crazy stuff going on track on these final few laps of the race. A pointless safety car leads to this. Absolutely mental. Now Panda Pat, 1 lap to go. He's not going to keep this lead if today's like this. Kozlesko is just a bit too close to Panda Pat, and it looks like Kozlesko could win this race. Scott, however, is under pressure from a damaged Vapid Koot. They both have no front wing, and Tom Sofregno is the nearest car behind, as it does look like there's a tiny bit of rain falling on the track now. I need to get onto one of these views, and a little bit of rain has fell now, right towards the end of the race. As you can see, Tom Sofregno getting round Vapid Koot, who is just essentially a dead car on track right now. He has nothing to say for himself. He's probably just as pissed off as anyone else after having that incident. But the rain is starting to come down. Panda Pat not managing to get much time over Kizlesko in these last few laps. Obviously the incident at this corner obviously didn't help the matter. As we're going to come round this chicane for the final time today. There's a yellow flag as Grumpier Lion has went off the track. And Cal is going to have to try and see if he can make a position here. He's definitely already done that. And there we go. Panda Pat crosses the line, but he's going to be dropped down to second as Kizlesko is today's winner in the Panda Pat playoffs. Scott getting across the line in third position. Tom Sofregno in fourth. Kashmiri in fifth. Vapid Koot just probably as upset as anyone else, as we just said, in sixth place. Cal coming home in seventh, and Grumpier Lion, well, he's somewhere on track right now, as he came off of his intermediates just as it started raining. Not an ideal situation for him. But I can imagine there's going to be a conversation in the stewards room about a couple of the incidents that have happened today. And, you know, I think for everything that's going on, I think Tom Sofregno has, he's benefited from all of the palaver. He wasn't the quickest car on track, but finishing fourth today is not a bad feat for him. I think my driver of the day, in all fairness, I'm going to have to give it to Panda. You know, he drove an absolutely superb race from start to finish strategically. Even though the game's giving him it, I'm giving it as well. 110% effort the whole time. Just unfortunate with the track limits penalty getting on the podium. It's still a big thing to do in such a competitive, close grid. Kizlesko doing a good job of getting on that podium. I wouldn't say he was the best of drivers today. Probably strategically, it's just the way it is. He didn't actually get there on track, just by penalties, unfortunately. But that's the way it is. Scott managing to pick up the mop in third place. You know, I don't think it would have happened if it hadn't been for that incident. And it's just the way it is. Racing is racing. Things happen. Tom Sofregno taking home fourth position today. Kashmiri in fifth. Vapid Koot in sixth. Cal in seventh. Grumpier Lion in eighth. And Angelo getting crashed out. He finishes tonight in ninth place. In 10th, well, he didn't finish. We're actually just not going to mention these guys. Free DNS tonight on track. It is just the way it is in the championship. There's a few drivers that need to learn from their mistakes tonight and come back next week a little bit stronger as we move on to the next round. No interviews tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as it's just myself. It would feel a bit shit just me firing questions at drivers, considering after such an action-packed race like that. But I'm going to have to bid you farewell because it is 9:45 and I have work in the morning. Imagine that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this round of Papa Champs. On this International Paddock channel, obviously, it's not just Papa Champs. If you want to join in for any more streams this week, we're live again on Wednesday night, 8 PM for ERC Managers. And then on Thursday, for the ERC 100, we are live at 8 PM as well. And then on Sunday, of course, you'll be joined by myself and Mike, who'll be back from his holiday. Probably as tired as ever. You know, he's come back from being in beautiful Tenerife. And, yeah, we'll be taking you through the action there. This week we are at Lusail in Qatar, which is a track that I've never commentated on before. and it'll be good for everybody to have a wee bit of fun with that as well. So if you guys want to jump in for the action, 8 p.m. Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Right, well, thank you very much for watching. I've been Andrew Gatton, and we'll see you all again soon. Good night.